Welcome to IT Simplified. In today's session, we'll see how to create shareable links within Azure Bastion. So let's get started. Before we start, wishing everyone a happy new year. Hopefully 2023 brings happiness, health and prosperity in everybody's life. Now Bastion in Azure helps you to connect to Azure resources, specifically virtual machines and VM scale sets, without having to assign a public IP. This provides you a secured connectivity and also protect your resources from the hackers and undue access. What happens in case you want to provide these access to the users without having to give access to the entire portal? That's where shareable links will come into play. So those users who don't have access to the subscription, you can share a link with them, and also to one-time VM access, you can share these links and they will still be able to access these resources. And that is what we are going to configure in today's lab. So with that, let me just flip over to the Azure portal and show you the configuration steps. All right, so I'm logged into the Azure portal with my admin credentials, and for today's demonstration, I'm going to use the machine with the name test VM. So you can see this machine is in running state, and if I go and expand this, I've not assigned any public IP, but we'll try to configure the shareable link so that we can access this machine. And also want to show you that this machine is running under the virtual network with the name Bastion VNet, and this has two subnets in this, Bastion subnet and the Azure Bastion subnet. Now the Bastion that we're going to deploy will be under the subnet Azure Bastion subnet, and make sure that it has an address space of at least 26. And the naming convention should be exactly what you see on the screen, because this is the recommendation or the requirement from Microsoft. So with that, let's go and search for this service, and let's go and click on create. Now this service is in preview right now, so certain things might change, but in order to utilize the shareable link option, you need to be in the standard tier. So I'm going to deploy this under Bastion RG, and let me give this a name. Region will be Canada Central, and as I said that it comes in two tier, basic and standard. In order to use shareable link, you need to be in the standard tier. And I'm going to deploy this under the Bastion VNet, and my subnet, which is Azure Bastion subnet, will automatically pop up over here. And for the public IP for this Bastion subnet, I'm going to name this Bastion PEP. Rest everything will be default, and let's review and create. Services deployed successfully, so let's go and expand the resources. And if I go under the configuration, you can see that this is in standard tier, but I still don't see the shareable link because I need to check this box and apply and try to update this standard tier. Now for some reason, if you have already installed Azure Bastion with basic tier, you can always upgrade that from basic to standard by coming under settings and configuration, but you cannot go from standard to the basic tier. You have to completely delete it and create the Bastion service again. But for this demonstration, because we want to test this in shareable link, we need to have the standard tier enabled. And also, while it is getting updated, if you want to give access to the people who can create or delete these shareable link, that can be all done from the access control. And also you can see under settings, we have the session options. Right now, we don't see any activity because we don't have any connection to that VM, which we're going to test out. But once somebody is connecting to those resources, you'll see some activity over here. So let's wait for this option to be updated. Did successfully. Now if I go under settings, I have the shareable link tab. Let's go and click on the add button. I can pick the resources for which I want to configure the shareable link. In this case, we are just using for test VM, and let's go and click on apply. Okay, so you can see the resource status is active and we have this shareable link which we can share with any users to which we want to give access to this resource. So let me just copy this. Now I'm going to test this out by opening another tab. Let me just go and provide this link. Now, just important thing, when you are sharing this link, you also need to provide the username and the password. And this username and password is the name and the password which you used when you were configuring that virtual machine or VM scale set, in this case, the test VM. Let me provide those credentials here. And now you can see that I'm able to log in into the machine. And with this feature, you don't have to give access to the entire portal, or maybe for that one-time VM user, you want to share this link and they will be still be able to do their work through this shareable link option within Azure Bastion. Hopefully this feature was helpful. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.